Good morning, YouTube viewers and subscribers. So I don't normally call out people's last names in my posts, but I think this time I will, and it's a name that, a first name anyway, that I've used many times. There's one friend of mine and subscriber, awesome gentleman that has contributed so much to my channel, and his name is John Kalinsky. And yet again, he has astounded me by sending me one of his personal engines from his collection for me to show on my channel and to hopefully do a run video of. So what I've got here today from John is simply known as the HP 61R RC engine. Now this is an engine that dates back to the late 60s and is a very, very unique construction. And it comes with this clamp-on style muffler. And the only information I can find on this engine is a Peter Chinn article, which I'm going to put a link to on this in the comments sections of this video, so that everybody else can read it and look at it. But this engine is just very unique. It looks similar to that Fox 59 long shaft because it does have a longer shaft than normal. But this engine has an extremely, I'll say, complicated and unique carburetor setup. I want to zoom in real close here and show you this. Maybe that was a bit too much. So it's a rear rotary valve type carb setup, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see it here. It looks kind of standard there, but deep down inside there's yet another barrel, it looks like, that's closing at the same time this one's closed. So when this one is fully closed, let's see here, this one is not fully closed, but yet the inner one is, so I couldn't blow air through this. So I can't even really begin to tell you too much about this. You'll just have to look at that article from Peter Chinn. And in his article about this engine, he says that it took him a while to try and get this carb set up properly, but he said that the instructions that come with the engine explain it quite clearly. Unfortunately, I didn't get any instructions, and John didn't have any instructions that came with this engine, so I don't have privy to that particular information. So this engine looks to be very low time to me, but there's a couple other strange aspects about this thing I want to show you, aside from the fact that it's got this rear mounted carb and the needle valve is in line with this mounting lug, which I hope doesn't present a problem for me trying to mount it on my stand and keep me from being able to run it. I hope it doesn't, but we'll see. But when I unscrewed this, the prop nut, it isn't just the prop nut that's unscrewing. Let me zoom back in here again so you can see this better. It isn't just the prop nut that's unscrewing. It's a whole shaft. This is a very unique setup. And here, if we do this, we can pull this off. It's just a simple tapered collet. And you can very easily see the condition of that front bearing. Looks good. So I don't know that this engine has any run time on it. I can't really tell. It smells like maybe it had been run one time a while back, but I don't really know. But because of the tapered collet and how it's loose right now, I really can't even rotate this thing through by hand. I don't want to just do it with this nut because I don't want to tighten it so much that I have a hard time. So I really have to put a prop on this thing before I can actually rotate it through. But this carb is just really a strange carb setup, and I'm going to attempt to do a run video of this, but I cannot guarantee that I'm going to be able to get it to run optimally. Several reasons. I don't want to jack around with this engine too much because, as far as I'm concerned, this looks like a collector's item, and it looks like it would be better suited for being just on display as opposed to me screwing around with it too much. So I don't know. I'm not sure what's going to happen with this. I'm going to try and run it, and we'll see what goes on here. But here's how the exhaust clamps on, which is kind of an interesting thing. It's a pretty tight fit, but then you just kind of snap it in place. Talk about the easiest exhaust installation you'll ever find. But so this is a quick look at this very unique HP 61 RC engine, And John, I want to thank you for sending this to me and trusting me with it. I'm going to do the best I can to get a run or two going on it. So we'll just take it from there.